Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to Social Science online teaching classes from Vishwamanava Residential High School. I am Mahboobi, your social science teacher. My dear students, in today's class, we are going to discuss the history part of the 8th lesson, that is Gandhi era and national movement. Gandhi era and national movement. This chapter is very important for your examination point of view, and it is very big chapter and it is very easy chapter. My dear students, Gandhi era and national movement. In this lesson we are going to learn, one is life of Gandhiji, second one is Gandhi's beginning struggles in India, third one is the achievements of Gandhi's inner life, fourth one is Jallianwala Bagh, fifth one is Khilafat movement, sixth one is non-corporation movement, seventh one is civil disobedience movement, eighth one is Quit India movement, ninth one is Round Table Conference, tenth one is Jayaprakash Narayan, 11th one is Subhash Chandra Bose and Indian National Army. Then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his reformations. And last one is Jawaharlal Nehru, Muhammad Ali Jinnah. These points we are going to discuss in the lesson Gandhi era and national movement. Now, my dear students, in this video we will learn about life of Mahatma Gandhiji. Second one is Gandhiji's beginning struggles in India. Third one is achievements of Gandhi's inner life. Fourth one is Jallianwala Bagh, and the last one is Khilafat movement. These points we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, my dear students, let's start. All of you know that Mahatma Gandhiji is playing very important role in the freedom movement in the history of India. Mahatma Gandhiji play a very major important role in the Indian freedom movement. Then he created Gandhian way of struggle, or Mahatma Gandhiji has created Gandhi movement of struggle in the Indian freedom movement. The period between 1920 and the 1947 is called as Gandhian era. The period between 1920 and the 1947 is called as Gandhian era. In this Gandhian era, in this period, the thoughts of the Mahatma Gandhiji and his philosophical base of his struggle has defined the Indian independence movement during this period. Understand? Now, let's move on. Early life of Mahatma Gandhiji. All of you know that Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, who is popularly called as Bapu. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born on 2nd October in Purabandar of present Gujarat Kadhiwad district in the year 1869. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, who is popularly called as Bapu, he was born on 2nd October in 1869 in Purabandar of present district Kadhiwad in Gujarat state. Karamchand Gandhi was his father. He was the Diwan of Rajput state. Putali Bai was his mother. She influenced on moral values. My dear students, in every year we celebrate Gandhi Jayanti on 2nd October because Gandhiji was born on 2nd October in 1869 in the Porabandar of present day Gujarat Kadhiwar district. After completing his basic education at Porabandar, then after he went to England in the year 1888 for law education and completed his bar at law and returned to England. In the year 1888, he went to England for the purpose of the law education. After completing his bar education, and returned to England. Then, after in the year 1893, Gandhi went to Natal and intended to be at Natal only 3 months. He ended up living in South Africa for 20 long years. Then, my dear students, he opposed the apartheid policy. The apartheid policy is the discrimination between the dark skinned and fair skinned white people and black people. He opposed the apartheid policy in South Africa. Then he invented a new tool of protest called Satyagraha. Many South Africans take pride in declaration that you send us unformed Gandhi and we send back the complete Gandhi. My dear students, Gandhiji convinced the protest based on Satyagraha and non-violence for the first time. He founded Natal Indian Congress. Then let's move on. Gandhiji in India. The initial protest. All of you know that Mahatma Gandhiji, as per the instructions of his political guru, that is Gopal Krishna Gokhale. His political guru, that is Gopal Krishna Gokhale, entered in India. My dear students, Mahatma Gandhiji, as per the instructions of his political guru Gopal Krishna Gokhale, enter in India in a railway compartment to understand the real conditions, real India of his time. Then he gave an institutional shape to his struggle by establishing Shabramati Ashrama at Ahmedabad in the year 1916. When he entered India in a railway compartment to understand the real India of his time, then he gave an international institutions shape to his struggles by establishing Shabramati Ashrama at Ahmedabad in the year 1916. Then he understood the problems of the farmers. He established Shabramati Ashrama at Ahmedabad. He understood the problems of the farmers, problems of the Dalits, problems of the tribal people, problems of the laborers, and problems of the other sections of the society. He established Shabramati Ashrama in the year 1916. Then, in the year 1917, Gandhiji launched Champaran movement. In this Champaran movement, Gandhiji in supported of Indo growers and made the British government accept the demands of the farmers. Understand? Then, in the year 1918, he started a movement called Support of the Mill Workers of Ahmedabad and made the British government accept his demand of the farmers. Then after, in the year 1918, the another protest held in Kheda village of Gujarat to oppose land taxes also became very successful. Then Mahatma Gandhiji has started during using his truth, non-violence and satyagraha ideals in all these movements. My dear students, first in the year 1916, Shabramati Ashrama was established. Then after in the year 1917, Champaran movement was established. In the year 1918, he started a movement in the support of mill workers of the Ahmedabad and made the British government accepted his demand. Then after Mahatma Gandhi ji has started using truth, non-violence and satyagraha ideals in all these movements. Then Gandhi ji used to express his thoughts in periodicals like Young India and Harijan. My dear students, the Indian freedom struggle took a new turn with the arrival of the Mahatma Gandhi ji. He employed truth, nonviolence, and satyagraha as the main strategies in his struggle. One is nonviolence, second one is truth, third one is satyagraha. These are the strategies in his struggle, and he used to express his thoughts in periodicals like Young India and Harijans. These are the life of Mahatma Gandhi ji and initial protest of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Now let's move on. Achievements of Gandhi's struggle. What are the meaningful achievements of the Gandhi's struggle? One is Satyagraha, second one is Ahimsa, third one is unity of Hindu and Muslims. These are the meaningful achievements of Gandhi's struggle. My dear students, let us discuss one by one. One is Satyagraha. What is mean by Satyagraha? Satyagraha means it is the assertion of the truth. Satyagraha, it is one of the very major methods of protest of Gandhiji. The word Satyagraha means it is the truth. It was one of the major weapons he employed in South Africa. It is his moral weapon. It is based on non-violence. It means the rightful place of truth by employing peaceful means. One of the major weapon is one of the major social exploitation has ever taken in the human society, that is a Satyagraha. Then second one is Ahimsa. Ahimsa, it is nothing but respect for all living things. Respect for all living things. Ahimsa, it is one of the basic trait of Mahatma Gandhi's struggle. He firmly believed that one should face violence with Ahimsa and Satyagraha. Gandhiji has employed strategies such as Ahimsa, Satyagraha, and fasting against force of the British like a military police. That is Ahimsa. And let's move on. Unity of Hindu and Muslims. Mahatma Gandhiji believed that without unity among the two religions, Hindu and Muslims, it is very difficult to achieve independence. In the year before 1947, without unity among the two religions, it is very difficult to achieve independence, and also it becomes difficult to survive as a nation in future. Shall discuss during the Khilafat movement, the Congress expressed in its support, we can see the unity of the Hindu and Muslims. My dear students, these are the meaningful achievements of Gandhi's struggle. One is the Satyagraha, second one is Ahimsa, third one is unity of Hindu and Muslims. These are the meaningful achievements of Gandhi's struggle. Now, let's move on. Another important concept in this lesson, that is the circumstances that led to civil disobedience. What are the circumstances that lead to civil disobedience? One is Jallianwala Bagh. My dear students, the Jallianwala Bagh, we can see The British implemented Rowlatt Act in the year 1919. The impact of the British rule in India, we have already discussed the Rowlatt Act. The British implemented the Rowlatt Act in the year 1919. Through this act, the British started controlled the nationalist. In the year 1919, the Rowlatt Act was implemented. Britishers. Through this act, the British started controlling the nationalist. Then, under the Rowlatt Act, they could arrest a man and declare him as an offender in a court of law. Then after, the Mahatma Gandhi formed an association called Satyagraha Sabha to oppose this. Then Gandhi had called for one-day hartal on the year April 6, 1919. During that time, Dr. Farooquddin and Dr. Satyapal and various other leaders were arrested in Punjab. My dear students, the British government decided to suppress the aggressions against the Rowlatt Act. Then after, the Mahatma Gandhi ji has suddenly decided called for one-day hartal on the year 1919 in April 6. The two great important persons has came to power. One is Dr. Farooquddin and Dr. Satyapal, and various other leaders were arrested in Punjab. To protest this arrested, the people had assembled in Jallianwala Bagh on April 13, 1919 on the day of Baisakhi festival. My dear students, on April 13, 1919, on the day they are celebrated Baisakhi festivals in Jallianwala Bagh, the military leader of the Amritsar, that is General Dayar, freed the peacefully assembled the people. In this Jallianwala Bagh, we can see around 380 protesters were killed. Thousands of the peoples were injured. This incident saddened people like Mahatma Gandhi's and others. Later, Udham Singh, a revolutionary killed the leader of the England, that is General Dayar. That is Jallianwala Bagh. Now, let's move on. Khilafat movement. Khilafat movement during the World War I, the British, the Khalifa and this was widely protested by Muslims of the world. In India, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, two brothers, started the Khilafat movement in the support of the Turkey in the year 1919. The sultans of the Turkey were also the religious leaders of the Turkey and were called as Khalifa during the First World War. Then the British hazards the Khalifa, and this was widely protested by the Muslims of the world. In that time in our country, Muhammad Ali and the Shaukat Ali, these are the two brothers, started the Khilafat movement in the support of the Turkey in the year 1919. Then Mahatma Gandhi ji had believed that the British would only withdraw if the Hindus and Muslims fight united. Hence, he extended his support to this movement. He wanted to achieve participation on the part of Muslims in the Congress. This was a movement wherein the both Hindus and Muslims participated in the nation protest. Mahatma Gandhi ji always championed the unity of the Hindus and Muslims during the national freedom struggle. My dear students, Mahatma Gandhi ji had believed that without unity among the Muslims and Hindus, it is very difficult to achieve independence, and also it became difficult to survive as a nation in future. He always said that Hindus and Muslims are the two eyes of the Mother India during the Khilafat movement. These are the concept of a Khilafat movement. Okay, my dear students, in this video we have learned life of Mahatma Gandhi ji, Gandhi ji's beginning struggles in our country, then the achievements of the Gandhi ji's. One is Satyagraha, Ahimsa, and the unity of the Hindu and Muslims. These are the achievements of the Gandhis in their life. Then the concept of the Jallianwala Bagh and Khilafat movement. These points we have learned in this video. Now, the next class we are going to discuss non-corporation movement, civil disobedience movement, quit India movement, round table conference. These points we are going to discuss next class. Okay, my dear students, thank you.